another Phil Coley Sales Podcast. Great to have you here with me today. And remember, each and every week, I'm going to be bringing you this amazing podcast with tips, tricks, ideas, and my experience, some which will be applicable to you. What I want to talk about today is I want to talk about the components of the voice. One thing I absolutely love to talk about, and something again that goes back to my telesales days and to my direct selling days as well. How you can use the voice in sales to take control, get more sales. So I'm going to run through it really quickly because I have a free course on this as well that is available to you. Just go onto the site. You don't have to sign up. You can just go on and enjoy the courses for free. So I'm going to talk about the 6 components of the voice, which I call triple P EVA. Pitch, pace, projection, energy, volume, and articulation are the 6 components of the voice. This is amazing for telesales, it's amazing for direct sales, and it's even now amazing for online networking. So let's have a run through, shall we? So we're going to talk about triple P EVA. So let's start with number 1, which is pitch. The pitch of your voice, not the pitch in terms of sales. So the pitch of your voice. We have to be really careful with the pitch of our voice because it can be quite high, it can be quite low. Now from a female perspective, then voices naturally are that a little bit higher. Male voices are that little bit lower, but again there's a range in both male and female voices. So we need to be aware of that. So a squeakier voice can be sounding less professional. So all we need to do is just drop it down a little bit, and you'll see how the other components are able to help to do that. When you use technology, and particularly in the phone, but also now online, the amplification takes the pitch up just slightly. So again, you need to be aware of that. So by lowering the pitch, and as I said, we'll talk about that in the coming components, it brings it back down. Okay, so that's pitch. Remember, you can go and get the course, but I'm just taking you simply through it today in the podcast really quickly for you to grasp it. Next one we have is pace. The pace of the voice, the pace of how you speak is hugely important. The quicker you go, the less information the other person can take on. It also can be a sign of nervousness. So we can see when people talk really quickly, they're obviously nervous. And if you're nervous, maybe that means you're not very confident. If you're not very confident, it doesn't mean you're not confident in yourself or not confident in your product. So again, think of that, and you'll see how I'm changing my pace as well. But if you change your pace, again, you can control what people hear. And again, I love pace because you can slow things down to an acceptable level and people start to hear you better and you take control. So you've seen how I'm changing the pace in terms of that. Next P, projection. Okay, so projection for me is the projection of the voice. It's not shouting, it's projecting. And there's a massive difference between hello and hello. Okay, there's a difference. You're not shouting at people, projecting your voice. And the projection of your voice comes from your diaphragm, pushing up and through. And if you can visualize the words doing that, then you're projecting. So I can project to the camera that's not very far away from me, but I could also project to the back of the room if I wanted to. And that's the difference with projection. And projection and pace and pitch, you can influence all of those different things. So by projecting your voice, you've got more power in your voice. You've probably got to slow your pace down, and that also brings your pitch down a little bit as well. But it takes control of what you do. So then we look in energy. And I love energy, and energy can be passion. And we know when we listen to people, and people are great orators, they're out there, they're speaking, and they've got energy. But also they don't let the energy get away from them because they think about articulation and pace, which influences the pitch. So you can see how all these components come together. And then from the energy, we go into volume. And again, volume isn't about shouting, but it is having the right volume for somebody to hear you. So you don't want to be whispering, but you do want to be talking effectively, and you do want to project a little bit as well. So you can see how that volume can change. And again, sometimes volume can be really important, in making a point or a point. And you can see how you can do that. And then finally, A is articulation. It's about articulating your words. So articulation itself, you have to be able to make sure you can pronounce articulation. To be able to do that properly, you need to make sure your pace is right and also your projection of that as well. And articulation is really important. Don't use big clever words if you don't practice using big clever words, is what I say to people. But you need to articulate every single word that you use correctly and properly, but also do, where you can, try and miss out so, mate, ish, and. You need to make sure you're aware of those. Now, if you're aware of the pace you go at, the articulation, the projection, the volume, the energy, then actually the articulation and everything comes together. You will see a real difference if you follow Triple V Eva. I actually cover it hugely more in a really 30-minute course on the components of the voice, which you'll soon be able to find on the website. Might even be there now. Maybe go and check it out, but in the meantime, go and check out other courses that I have available. They're free. You don't sign up. Go onto the website, take part in the course. It's all for free. Enjoy.